Hi, I'm Quinn Lemley with Secrets of the Stage. This is the place where we pull back the curtains and we look into the creative process. And you can't get more creative than today. Today I have Tom Harris, the president of the Times Square Alliance. Welcome. I mean, you cannot, you're in the heart of creativity.
Yes, thanks for having me. Times Square is like no other place in the world. It's the heartbeat of New York City. Every day is an adventure. I work with an amazing group of people, and we strive to make Times Square clean, safe, and desirable for all.
Well, it definitely is. I've been in New York for quite a while, and to see it change, and it's getting more and more wonderful and safe and colorful and diverse.
Our goal is to make sure that everyone who's there has a great experience.
Now, you've been the president for 17 years?
I've been the president for coming up on 5 years. This is my 5th year. I've been with the organization since 2008.
I see. So when you first came into the organization, what were you doing?
So I started as the director of public safety in 2008, May of 2008, and throughout the years I took on increased responsibility, and it's been a fantastic adventure.
And how do you go from, you worked with the New York Police Department, so safety first, and you guys are amazing. How did you, now you're in charge of this huge cultural organization.
So I spent 23 years in the New York City Police Department. It was a great experience. And I remember when I was asked to apply for this job, I thought, I never want to leave the police department. It's great. I had a promising career. And when I looked at the job description, I saw what the organization did. I said, when can I start?
What is the mission of the Times Square Alliance?
I think it's really to celebrate the creativity, energy, and edge of Times Square and to make it clean, safe, and desirable for the neighborhood. We sort of realize that we're the front door of the city to the world, and our staff is fantastic and really embraces that every day to try to make sure we put our best foot forward.
Well, you certainly do. You do large-scale programming like the ball drop,
right,
and you do up to 80 smaller shows a year that you produce.
We produce, like I said, amazing team. So 4 buckets: clean, safe, improve, promote. We have a sanitation team that works tirelessly to make sure Times Square is as clean as possible. We have a public safety team that works hand in glove with the New York City Police Department and with the private security in the area. We look to improve the area and promote the area through those events. So we have signature events like New Year's Eve. Just going through the New Year's Eve, we have a Valentine's Day promotion where we have people who have surprise proposals, surprise weddings. We have vow renewals, and we build that around a public art project. We have TSQ Live, which you sort of talked about, with 80 small-scale programs, performances in Times Square.
It's incredible.
It starts right around now. It started last week, and it goes through September, Tuesday through Friday. And you could look at our website at tsq.org for a list of all of the events. But pretty much in one of the plazas, either 43rd to 44th Street on Broadway or 45th to 46th Street, Tuesday through Friday from about 5 to 7, something's going on in Times Square. So
Times Square is really kind of broken. I got to learn this when I attended the New Year's Eve ball 2 years ago, and I'd never seen anything like that before. It was so magical to be on top of the Hard Rock Cafe and being out there, and how organized your team is, and to see these all the different stages.
Right, so we have a couple of stages. Producing New Year's Eve, and we have partners at One Times Square, Countdown Entertainment. In the event world, it's like being in the Super Bowl every single year.
Wow.
And it's probably one of the biggest, it's one of the biggest. I don't want to say it's the biggest event, but it's one of the biggest events in the United States each year. A million people come to Times Square to look at the ball, and 1 billion people worldwide tune in at that magical moment. And we really work on it a little bit each day throughout the year, but in December it all comes together, and like I said, a fantastic team working together makes it happen.
Wow. And let's talk about, you were talking about weddings and Valentine's Day. Let's talk about One Times Square. It's going to be a new opening this year.
So Times Square is really excited to welcome the reimagination of One Times Square. The Times Square is named after the New York Times. One Times Square was the home of the first home of the New York Times in Times Square around the turn of the century. Jamestown owns the building now. They're doing a complete remodel. They're going to open up the building to the world 365 days a year. They're looking to have a wedding chapel. They're going to have a lot of experiences. You'll be able to experience the New Year's Eve ball firsthand. And
in the building?
In the building.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
So it really is going to be amazing. They're going to be announcing things throughout this year, but it will be done in time for the celebration this year, maybe a little bit sooner.
That is exciting. And I had the opportunity to be on top of One Times Square and actually be in the presence of the ball before it dropped. And it's getting a facelift this year.
It's getting a facelift. They haven't really released too many details about the ball, but I think it will be a lot brighter. And I think we could say that. Safe to say we could say that it's getting that facelift, and it's going to be on display both in the building and in Times Square each day.
So people will be able to experience what we experienced on the roof in a visceral. The public will be able to experience that.
Yes, they're opening up the building, and
it was so thrilling.
It really is. It never gets old, and each year we get to do it, and each year it's you feel like a kid celebrating
right?
something new, and we celebrate New Year's Eve in Times Square throughout the month of December. Lots of events with the new building, new ball. There'll be lots more this year. But there really is something to do in Times Square 365 days a year, and it's fantastic.
And they can go to your website to look up the programming and
yes, tsq.org. You can look at our programming, what's happening today. We have fantastic public art program. Where a little known secret, we're talking about secrets of the stage.
Yes, secrets of the stage.
So this is for the last 12 years, we've been doing a midnight moment in Times Square.
What is that?
So the midnight moment it's on the screens, almost 100 screens in Times Square. At 11:57 each night, turn to the latest public art exhibit in Times Square.
And Wonderama TV, that's how we know each other.
How we know each other. Chuck Armstrong
and Errol
right.
Rappaport.
Yes. So we are, Times Square really is a family-friendly place. And when Chuck and our mutual friend George Stombley came to us and said, hey, we'd like to film Wonderama in Times Square, like it goes back to my childhood. Kids are people too.
Yes, kids are people too.
And
I love it.
It was a great show. And I guess a couple of years ago we started doing it. And how could we stop now? I mean, what publicity for New York City, for Times Square. We have this family-friendly show, and it's broadcast live from Times Square. It's great.
It's amazing. And they shoot like in 5 days at a time, right? It's incredible. Wonderama and Chuck Armstrong, you rock. I mean, it's just such high energy, and Times Square is the perfect place to have it.
It is.
Who would ever think of filming a children's TV show in the heart of Times Square?
But that just is Times Square really has become a family-friendly place. People should just get rid of their old notions of Times Square. The dirty, dangerous days
in the
far
70s
gone.
or
in the
80s.
70s when most people weren't born.
Right.
But they have this memory, and Times Square really is, like I said, a reflection of the city to the world, and having something like Wonderama there is really great for the city. It's great for the show. It's great for the neighborhood, and I'm happy to play that little small part in it each year.
It's just wonderful. And also, I had the privilege of singing several times in Duffy Square for Earth Day and Peace Day with Paul Slotkus. And that's quite like, I mean, there's so many, I call them types, diverse people, and just spending the whole day in Times Square, it's like a movie, or like you see all these different people and different storylines playing out.
So don't tell anyone from Broadway, but the greatest free show in the world is just people watching in Duffy Square in New York City. It guarantees not to disappoint, and every 45 seconds it changes. There's a different cast of characters on each block every 45 seconds.
Who funds all of these activities and creates this wonderful production?
So we're a business improvement district. There are 76 business improvement districts in New York City. Neighborhoods get together and decide to self-tax themselves. We have contracts with the city's small business services. You get city council approval, and the businesses get together, self-tax each other, come up with a budget. We have a not-for-profit board of directors that sort of dictates how we spend that money, and that is the lion's share of our funding. We do get some revenue from events and advertising, but it is funded by the community for the community.
So if artists or singers or painters, do they go to the business district to find you, or do they just go to the Times Square Alliance?
No, you would go to the Times Square Alliance. tsq.org, there's information about sponsorships, about opportunities. You could reach out to us, and we're always looking for fresh talent.
Fresh talent, yes, yes. Well, and artists are always looking for opportunities, right, of exposure and to be able to do their art and connect. I love all the concerts that you have all year long. Now, the Broadway League is part of your collective groups?
So the Broadway League is part of the Times Square Alliance. They're part of our stakeholders. They've been on our board of directors since the beginning. Jason Lax, their president, is part of our board. We work very closely with them. We work closely with the Broadway community. We want Broadway. You could go to any city in the world and see big buildings, and you could see people. There's only one Broadway. We're lucky to have it. And we really work very closely with the Broadway community. They don't call us the theater district for nothing.
Right.
I mean, we sort of realize that they drive a great deal of people to the neighborhood and to the businesses, and they're doing great now. They surpassed pre-pandemic revenue. I mean, their expenses are up, everything is up, but all the shows are playing, and
people are showing up. They're going. The houses are full. The grosses are good. So it's good.
It's good.
Let's talk about the significance of the arts to have a vibrant community and a wealthy community, a successful community. Because a lot of times, I'm from the Midwest, or you go to smaller communities, and it's usually the arts that are cut first.
Right, and that's why at the Times Square Alliance, our whole community has gotten together and said, we're going to support these arts, we're going to do this programming. We think having an activated public space makes for a good public space. If we don't program it, the negative element could seep in, so having these positive programming helps to make a good neighborhood. It's the ecology of the neighborhood, and it all works well together. People can come out, grab something to eat, watch a small-scale show, and then go see something on the stage, and then go for a drink afterwards. And it just creates that environment where that people want to be a part of. Communities that work together work, and Times Square certainly works together, trying to connect all of the dots and give people that fantastic experience.
I love that. Now, do you work with other alliances or arts organizations for neighborhoods within the city? Do you, or are you self-contained?
So, as far as our art projects, we work. We're pretty much self-contained with that. We do collaborate with other business improvement districts, sharing ideas. There are 7 Midtown bids that do get together for advocacy. Some of the things, like, I mean, let's face it, when you go walk around the city, we can't accept the status quo as our new norm in New York City, so we're continually advocating for changes with our elected officials, with the city agencies, and the 7 bids have gotten together, formed the Midtown Bid Coalition.
And what does a bid mean?
A bid is a business improvement district.
Business improvement
district. So the Times Square Alliance is a bid.
Okay.
The business improvement district. So 7 business improvement districts have gotten together to collaboratively work with our elected officials just to change some of the the things that we think could be better in our city. And we've shown that when we work together with the elected officials, we can do a lot.
That's exciting.
It is.
Is it hard to move the needle?
It's always hard to move the needle, but water over the rock. We're sort of persistent. The thing that we have is we care deeply about our neighborhood. Our motives are not selfish. It benefits the whole city, and I think they know that we care and that we're going to be a good partner with them. And it's all about the relationships. So we build and maintain great relationships with people throughout city government, throughout our community, and when there's a problem, we can work together to solve it.
So when you say, everything's about relationships.
Right.
We wouldn't be sitting here if it
Right.
wasn't for a relationship. But how would you, if you wanted people, our audiences, to go out and make changes within their communities or their neighborhoods, what are ways that they could go out to build community or get to know the people that can make the decisions?
So I would just say get involved in local civic groups that work with whatever municipality you have, whatever agencies you have. Let them know who you are, let them know what you're interested in doing, have clear objectives and measures of success. What is the Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind.
Yes.
So figure out what you want and then find whoever you need to come together and achieve that. Something that we did during the pandemic, we saw that when everyone left, we saw a lot of unhoused and mentally ill people stayed behind, and really it was a shame. So we got together with Breaking Ground, which is the social service organization that helps those, the unsheltered in the neighborhood. We got together with the Midtown Justice Center, which is just a small town court that did diversion programs and kept people out of the criminal justice system by offering them programs to solve the root cause of whatever issue they had.
Wow.
And then we saw that there was mental health involved, so we worked with Breaking Ground. We deployed peer navigators into the street to connect with the folks living on the street, to connect them with services and support, and just working together, we were able to reduce the people sleeping on our streets by 67% in 6 months. And
That's
that was
incredible.
It was. And D.A. Bragg copied the program. It's called The Bridge now, and he has peer navigators out there. And we're very proud that while we were sort of rebuilding after the pandemic, we didn't leave those most vulnerable behind. So just sort of getting together. And the one thing about working with others is it's amazing what you can accomplish if you're not looking to get credit for it. So none of us were really, we were looking at the objective, and that was helping people. And when people see that your motives are pure, that you're not looking for something for yourself, I've found that people will work with you.
Why do you think that we have so many homeless people in the city?
The situation is really complicated. There's usually a couple of things going on. There's some mental illness, some substance abuse, and it's a matter of getting the city to focus on the individual. And we work very, very, very closely with the city agencies. Mayor Adams has been fantastic on this. He's brought a lot of resources into the neighborhood. There are a lot of people who care very much. The system is complicated. I know that they're trying to make changes, incremental changes, to improve the lives of those folks that are on the street. So, and we've seen some bad outcomes. We see people and we watch them sometimes die slowly on the street, and we just wish that there was more that we could do to help. And working with the agencies, focusing on the individual, we're doing everything that we can in the Times Square Midtown area.
That's wonderful. Let's talk about something super fun, like New Year's Eve. What are some of the favorite acts that you've had in Times Square?
I don't know that I have a favorite act, but the themes and the symbolism, I think, matter most to me. Every year, right before midnight, someone sings Imagine. And when you really start to think about the words of the song and the meaning that it is, it never fails to move me.
I can't even imagine what it would be like to be sitting on the red steps of the TKS ticket booth and looking out at that ball and that stage, it must be so incredible.
It really is. It's really cool. I mean, I can't say it enough. It's like, I feel like a little kid on Christmas, because, again, it's a celebration of work and family and fun, and it's sort of, some of my values, the three of my values all coming together. So. And
here you are, making this happen with your team and your family, and making New York somewhere that is a playground and a place of hope and creativity and imagination.
Well,
for people all over the world.
I cannot emphasize enough. I have a fantastic team in the organization. Every day, every one of them is smarter than me, and every day each one of them makes me look better than I am. So I never lose sight of the team that I have working.
Well, that's for sure. I've gotten to meet several of your team members. How many are in your organization? So
altogether we have 145 people, and then for New Year's Eve we have a larger team that comes together for that week or two.
That's incredible. I mean, that's 140 people for such a large space is not a lot of people.
No,
that's a lot of might.
Yeah.
And a lot of creativity and logistics. How do you keep everything logistically going? Like you could have a performance over here and a performance over here at the same time, and one over here. Right. How do you envision that sonically, visually?
The whole operation is really coordinated with the city. The city does a fantastic job. We work with every agency on the event. We work with all of our businesses that really come together we all come together as a community for the event. People let the confetti engineers go into their space.
Being underneath all that confetti the entrance of the Hard Rock Cafe
on the marquee,
and I was just drenched in confetti for days. I loved it.
It's hand thrown by volunteers who come back.
Hand thrown?
It's all hand thrown.
Where do they throw it from?
They throw it from the buildings around the area.
I thought you had a drone or something.
No.
Because it was like literally like raining confetti.
Right. It's like a blizzard of confetti in Times Square. And so everyone works together. We become the venue. So we have a couple of stages. We work with all of the networks to produce a show, and then we produce our own show, and we give that feed to the world for free. We don't have an exclusive network like some of the other big events. We open it up. We have a media riser with all of the media on it. Some of them do their own shows. Dick Clark is the big show on ABC, and then we have our own performances that perform in the area. We also started to add emergency lane performers, so we have people walking through the crowds. And this past year, something I'm really proud of, one of our very own workers sung the Star Spangled Banner to open up the event. So Taylor Varga, he's a Jimmy winner. He's on our staff.
Oh, how wonderful.
And a fantastic voice. And I'm always so jealous because between us, in the second grade, Sister Mary Laudette told me I should never sing in public.
Oh no, Sister Mary!
And I have listened to her because you don't go against the nuns. It doesn't go well.
Oh no!
So I'm always so impressed with people who have this great gift and this great talent and who share it. And Taylor, he really wanted to do it, and just seeing him come alive on that stage, it really was fantastic. And it's a new tradition to honor our country before we start this event, to sort of say goodbye to the year.
I love it. We only have a few minutes left.
Wow.
Where are you hoping, what are your plans for this year with the Times Square Alliance?
So we're doing a strategic plan. We want to look to the future to see what our neighborhood has changed. Almost every year the neighborhood changes. But after the pandemic, sort of the city changed. We found that areas that are live, work, and play did better. We're sort of doing some studies. We're encouraging or at least pushing for some of our buildings that want to convert from office to residential to be able to do that. So we're working with the city. We're seeing that and moving forward. I think 10 years from now, you'll see more people living in in Times Square. We are in the fringes.
Oh my
of
goodness,
Times
how are we
Square.
even going to walk through?
Right.
You know, it's amazing. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, but from Indiana, and it's just like you're taking it all in, and you just walk through.
Right. Well, the real New Yorkers know what streets to walk on and what to avoid, and we're the ones who have our heads buried in our cell phones
Yes.
as we're walking, instead of looking up at the signs and the wonderment
I
of the
still
city.
get excited, though. I still will go there, and I've lived in the city. I went to college here. I've lived here my whole life, and I still get goosebumps.
And so do I, and I'm here every single day. Like, I'm here every day, and just when I walk into Times Square for the first time, whether I come from the north or the south, just looking up, you think, wow, this place is amazing, and it never, ever, ever disappoints. Someone told me when I left the police department that I'd be back in 6 months, and I would be bored. I haven't been bored in Times Square.
I don't know how you could be bored.
No, not for 6 seconds have I been bored. So it's an amazing place to be. And you know, it's not lost on me that the visitors to New York City, that is one of the places that they want to visit most, and we just want to make sure that we put on the best face,
the
for
best show,
New York, the best show for New York. Make sure it's clean, safe, and that everyone can make their own Times Square memories and just have a great time.
Well, everybody has a different experience. There are different stories and different experiences and cultures going on simultaneously.
It's great.
Tom Harris, you and the Times Square Alliance rock, and I thank you so much for making all of our lives so much more culturally aware and colorful and fantastic, and I can't wait for New Year's Eve.
I can't wait for it either. Thank you very much, Quinn. Thanks for talking to me, and thanks for talking about my favorite topic, Times Square.
The Times Square Alliance
Times Square
it's
Alliance.
now my favorite topic.
That's great.
I'm Quinn Lemley with Secrets of the Stage. Please go to quinnlemley.com and subscribe to my newsletter, and join me at my latest concerts, and watch me on Secrets of the Stage.